Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Wednesday, March 12, 2014. Let's jump right into the charts. There's a lot to cover here. Futures are starting to dip a little bit. They were basically flat a little while ago, but you can see they have started to fall. They're now down 7.25 points. It's not that big of a decline, at least not yet, but last night in Japan, you did have a major sell-off. The Nikkei 225 index finished lower by nearly 400 points, or basically 2.6%. So was a pretty steep drop in Japan. The Shanghai Composite was only down about 3 points on the session, so not a big deal there. But nonetheless, you did have the Asian markets, for the most part, come under pressure. You did have Hong Kong, which is the Hang Seng, down 1.65%. So there was pretty good selling pressure in Asia last night. Again, all you have to do is go look at one currency pair here. It's called the dollar yen. Dollar yen sells off, markets sell off. It's just that cut and dry right now. This relationship won't last forever, but right now it's as intact as I've ever seen it. So again, this is what you want to watch for, at least in the near term. We'll see how this all plays out. But as the Nikkei, as the dollar yen chart starts to go lower, you should see stock futures go lower as well. Either way you slice it or dice it, right now, pretty good market pressure overall. Now, a couple of other things you want to take a look at when you look at the European markets today. What you'll see here is that you have the German DAX down another 1.3%. The German DAX has been plunging lately and continues to trade lower again today. The London FTSE 100, remember, England can print their own money. They are down about 1%. The French CAC 40, I think France is an absolute disaster either way you slice it or dice it. They're down 1.35%. Spain, IBEX 130, the IBEX 35, that is down about 1%. And the FTSE MIB, which is the Milan market in Italy, is down only a little over 1/10 of 1%. So that's holding up the best. But all you got to do is watch the German DAX, watch the London FTSE 100. Those are the two most important in Europe, and they're both decently lower again today. So we'll see how this plays out. There's problems again happening in Russia. It looks like the G7 is going to call on Russia to pull back troops in Crimea. Again, who knows how this is going to turn out, but like I said last week, this is far from over. It's not going to be a one-day event like the market made it seem like it was going to be. So, again, we'll see what happens in Russia, but either way you slice it or dice it, the problems over there are just starting to escalate, if you ask me, and we'll see how that all shakes out and plays out. You have more problems in China. China credit levels are starting to plunge as well. And then we have the problems in Japan, where how long can the Japanese keep printing money? And if the currency doesn't continue to go down, there's no way the stock market goes up. It's kind of ridiculous that we live in a society like this where money printing is the answer to all the problems. But nonetheless, that's just the way the markets are, and we'll see how it plays out. All right, let's take a look at some stocks out here today. We have a few stocks out here. EXPR is the first one, Express Inc., retailer. Right now, this stock is getting hammered. It's trading at 16.05. It closed at 18.24. There are a couple levels that I'm seeing for this equity. First is going to be around $16, where it is now. If this level does not hold, watch this equity to go down to around $15, possibly even $14.11. So those are the levels that I'm seeing for Express. It's taking an Express route down. Right now you're looking at 15, and then after that it's going to go down to around $14.11. So again, those are the levels I'm seeing for Express, and this stock is getting hammered today. Next one we have on the list is Diamond Foods. DMND is the ticker symbol here. Stock closed at $30 yesterday. It's trading right around $31.70. So that's a pretty big pop. I really don't know if there's much upside left in this equity. It looks like I'm showing daily chart resistance around 32, but it's in an uptrend, and the gap up is strong, so you got to respect it. The next big resistance would be around $33.67. If you're an aggressive trader, you can look to fade this equity around that level. After that, it would be right around the $35 level for resistance. So those are your resistance points on Diamond Foods. Next one we're going to talk about is Men's Wearhouse. I think the company came out with earnings today. Again, they're in a trend. They're going to try to buy, or at least looks like a done deal. They are buying Joseph A. Banks. So I don't know if we're going to see this thing drop all that much. Right now, the stock's trading at $56.50, but they're going to merge with Joseph A. Banks, so there's some synergy, I guess, there. Be careful with this one. I don't really want to give any levels here out on this equity. I don't know if the stock will go back up or if it'll go back down again, so you don't want to make much out of that earnings report. It's all about the merger that's taking place between Men's Wearhouse and Joseph A. Banks. We'll go to Joseph A. Banks stock. Looks like they're being bought out for $65 a share. You could see already yesterday how this thing just traded sideways. So I don't think we can make much out of Men's Wearhouse, but I know it's in the news today, so you want to be a little bit careful with it. Don't pay much mind. At least there's nothing I would do with the stock. Let's take a look at Vodafone, or Verifone, excuse me. Verifone, the stock right now is trading higher. It closed at $29.25. It has upside to around 33.10. I don't know if it's going to get up to that level. It's trading at 31.78 at the moment. Did trade about just above the 32.50 level, but watch 33.10, 33.15. Ton of resistance there. That could be a fade level for the stock. So again, it's a little bit of a tougher trade because it's a pretty strong gap up today. But nonetheless, I don't think this gets much above 33.10. If you want to fade the equity there, you can do so. We want to talk about gold this morning. Gold is up about $18 at the moment. Take a look at the GLD. You'll see this GLD is trading at 131.40 right now, 131.39. It closed yesterday at 129.86. So pretty good pop for gold and gold futures. Gold futures are up about $19 at the moment to $1365.70 per ounce. Let's take a look at the gold miners today, the GDX that is. And the GDX is making a nice little move. Hasn't broken out, but it is trading at $26.57. So again, dollar yen down, gold goes up. That's kind of how it works. Gold miners are all holding steady this morning. You see the GDX making another pop in the chart here. And again, until it gets through 27, it's still in its consolidation range, but nonetheless, good little upside action here for gold and the gold mining stocks. Let's take a look at oil this morning. Oil is trading lower, down $1.50 to 98.53 a barrel, and that's for light sweet crude. Let's go to the USO, which is a good proxy for light sweet crude, and what you'll see here is that the USO is trading around this $35.30 level. I suspect it can break maybe even a little bit lower. Next support would be around $35.20, and then after that it's really $34.60. So keep those two levels on the radar today on the USO. Light sweet crude, any way you slice it or dice it, that's a pretty good sell-off it's had over the past week, and we'll see where this shakes out today. But nonetheless, light sweet crude falling, gold moving higher, and stocks for the most part are lower to start the day. Futures are down about 7.25 points. The Nasdaq futures are down 15.25, and the Russell futures are down about $6 at the moment. With that said, everybody, I want to wish you all a great trading day. We'll see how this market shakes out today, but nonetheless, dollar yen should be on your radar at all times. That's going to tell you the tale. All right, everybody, have a great trading day. We'll see you on the charts.